Alright guys, so I had to re-record this video, so we won't make it as long, but I always like to do an update for Georgia basketball in the off-season. Georgia's had a pretty active off-season so far. They have got two new players yesterday, or 2 days ago now. We got I was trying to see what their names were again. I have to pull that up. Give me one moment. I know for one is named Smurf. And how about that? I can't find the article I read it on. Give me one moment, ladies and gentlemen. Here we go, Jordan Ross and Smurf Milder. Georgia's also got a few great players outside of them. We talked about Jordan Bailey earlier in the year, or earlier in the off season. So Georgia's been making moves, and that is really good for the Dogs. And now, scheduling. And I ran about this in my first video, so I won't be as kind of iffy about it here. But Georgia's going to play in the Charleston Classic. We made a video on that yesterday. They're going to join West Virginia, Clemson, and Xavier. It was announced May 1st, but it was originally announced January 24th. And Georgia media has to do a better job of letting people know when they're going to be playing games. SicEmDolls.com and every other, I'm using SicEmDolls.com. I won't even single nobody else. SicEmDolls.com does a really good job with their Georgia basketball coverage. They really do. They're one of the only websites that has a future schedule for Georgia. It goes to like 2028, but it's just Georgia Tech. Now, obviously, that's excuse me, I'm under the weather, but that's excusable because you only know your schedule every year. But they do a great job, so I'm not singling them out at any means. This game, Georgia being in the Charleston Classic, was originally announced January 24th. It is completely unacceptable that Georgia media, and I'm not talking about the official team media, like the official team Twitter account or anything like that. I am talking about SicEmDolls.com, Dog Nation, UGA Sports Live. I am talking about the media that covers this team. It is completely unacceptable that this game was announced January 24th, and you guys have just started to report it May 1st. I reported it before you guys. Well, John Rothstein reported it, and then I made a video on it. It should have been you guys reported it, then I could comment on it. I shouldn't have been the first Georgia person to or not, I won't say that, but I shouldn't have. You should know about this game before I do. And that's not a knock on any of the people I just said or named, because I love them all dearly and they know that. But I'm just saying, collective I'm just criticizing. This isn't personal. This isn't anything that is mean intent. I'm just saying, when a game gets announced January 24th and you start to cover and you break it May 1st, that is unacceptable to the Georgia basketball fans, our team, our players, our fans. They deserve to know on a national standpoint that what game they're playing, especially our fans. Okay, our players and coaches, they probably already know. I shouldn't have even said them, actually. But our fans, the diehard Georgia basketball fans, deserve to know when they're playing their games. They should not find out that they're playing in a very, very important tournament. They should not find out they are playing in a very, very important tournament 5 months after it was announced. That's all I'll say about that. We have to do a better job of announcing these games on time, regularly, when they are announced. That's all I'll say. So Georgia is joining the Charleston Classic. They will play Clemson, West Virginia, and Xavier. They have not played Clemson since the 2018-19 season, the Cayman Islands Classic. They have not played West Virginia since 1998. They played Xavier in the 2024 NIT. I really do not want to play Xavier. I would rather play Clemson or West Virginia. And that's mostly because those two teams I've never seen. Well, I've seen Georgia play Clemson, but they haven't played in a long time. I started making content that season, but that was before I started making content. I would love to play Clemson. We haven't played Clemson in a long time. We haven't played West Virginia in a long time either. So I would love to see Georgia play Clemson or West Virginia. If we play Xavier, that'll be okay, but considering we just played them in NIT 2 seasons ago, I really do not want to play Georgia. Well, Morehead State's athletic director also announced that they will be playing Georgia. There is no time, no date, nothing of this game has been set as of May 2nd. So we will see where that goes. And that's a very, very interesting game because Morehead State, they announced it way before Georgia even said anything yet. So their athletic director said it. So I read that on a Mark Weiser article, which was a very, very solid and great article. I recommend you to read it if you did not. And then, of course, Georgia Tech. We're going to get Georgia Tech in Athens this year. And that's going to be a good game as it usually is. And the SEC ACC Challenge, well, let's do the math. In 2023-24, Georgia went on the road. 24-25, we hosted Notre Dame. So that means in 25-26, Georgia will be going on the road in the SEC ACC Challenge. Do not know who they will be playing yet. That is an ESPN event. My dream would probably be Virginia Tech. I feel like that would be very, very cool to have Virginia Tech. I like Virginia Tech. I think they're a good program, but family also likes Virginia Tech. Have them with Georgia too. Have them playing each other. Obviously, I'm going for Georgia. Virginia Tech University, their basketball program could get annihilated by Georgia before anything, Georgia's first and foremost, but I do like Virginia Tech, so I think that would be a very cool game. And the Castle Coliseum, it has pretty much, it's lost every kind of luster it's had, at least in my opinion. It used to look so nice, but now it kind of sucks now. Well, that's probably because Virginia Tech probably sucks, but that would be a good game for Georgia. And then when you look at SEC play, and once again, SEC ACC Challenge, it's not yet known who Georgia is going to play. We won't know that till later in the year. But it's also not known that Georgia's conference schedule. There's only 6 games that are known in Georgia's conference schedule, and that's every year we play Florida. We go to O'Connell Center to play Florida. We go to South Carolina. We play South Carolina at home, and then we play Auburn at home, and then we go to Auburn to play at Auburn. So 6 games are always known for Georgia in the SEC play. That's really it. But thinking, just going off the top of my head, Arkansas would come to Athens. Georgia would go to Oklahoma. Georgia would go to Oklahoma. And Texas would come to Athens. Georgia would go to Mississippi State. Georgia would go to Kentucky. Ole Miss would come to Athens. Georgia would go to LSU, which, by the way, we got screwed out the last time we played LSU, so We need revenge. The last time we played at LSU, we got screwed out. We need revenge for that game. That's just on top of my head. And once again, this isn't official. And they might change Georgia's 6 permanent or 6 permanent games. I just don't think they will. Each 3 make the most sense. I always tell people, if I could change one, if I could change Georgia's schedule from playing Auburn twice, South Carolina twice, and Florida twice, I would replace Florida with Tennessee, but Florida is a main rival, so that definitely won't happen. South Carolina, I'm looking at it based off of, I hate to say this, win probability. For the longest time, we couldn't beat South Carolina. We finally beat South Carolina. We swept them last season. You beat Auburn. You could beat Auburn. We saw it twice. We played them twice. And, of course, we beat Florida one time. But we had to start winning at the O'Connell Center, too. That's a place we have to start winning. Georgia's not won there since 2019. Me personally, it would be cool, okay, like South Carolina and Florida, and then say you take off Auburn, just every year rotate it, like Georgia goes to LSU and then LSU comes to Athens, or say Georgia plays Alabama and then go to Alabama. That's what I would like to see. I think it would be very cool if there's 3 permanent opponents, but it would be cool if they took 2. They took 2 to the side where you're staying, which would be South Carolina and Florida, and then you get to Auburn game, and then you rotate it. Like, you don't play Auburn every year. You could play at, like I just said, at Alabama, and then Alabama comes to Stegman. You could play Oklahoma twice. I mean, you get what? That would be very cool. I don't think that will happen. And I want to beat those guys first and foremost. I want to beat Auburn again. We came so close from beating them last season in Athens. That would have been the biggest win ever for Georgia. The Florida game did kind of make up for that, but it did not make up for it fully, because that would have been another top-ranked victory that Georgia would have had last season. Georgia beat St. John's. Georgia beat Kentucky. Georgia beat Oklahoma. We beat Florida at the end of the year. You had that Auburn game. Georgia's in a very, very good position. The way the season ended last year was a dream. You won 4 games in a row, including over number 3 Florida. And once again, we're not sulking or anything like that, but I mean, if you beat Mississippi State, if you beat Missouri, if you beat Auburn at home, you're in a very better situation than you would have been. Because I remember people saying, and this is true, they're gonna tell you that they said this, or that they didn't say it, but it's true. I remember people before the Florida game, Georgia's season's done, Georgia's not making the tournament. Proved everybody wrong within 2 weeks. So I mean, the way the season ended last year was very, very, very fun. 4 straight wins. Now, obviously, postseason wasn't fun. We got beat by Oklahoma. Then we lost to Blaine Grimer's favorite team, you, Blaine. And now, it's time to move on to a new season. And, like I've been talking about the schedule, I don't know what Georgia's schedule has yet, but we will find out very, very soon. So, Georgia's schedule and Georgia's offseason is in full swing right now. Go Hoop Dogs.
Arkansas and go wire to wire to win the SEC tournament.